All right, fellas, we're going to take a look at your doubles match with Longwood, and we're just going to look at your doubles fundamentals with positioning and choices. So the first thing you guys want to always do before you play each point is realize where everybody is starting the point. And here the receiver's partner is in no man's land. That's a positioning error. So this guy's going to be extremely vulnerable to anything deeper in the middle or near the single sideline on his side of the court. So Barrett, I'm taking this volley here if I were you, but you'd make it anyway if you made a better split step. Here we got a nice serve and a nice put away from Vincent. Vincent, we talked about your eyes and your feet. You make a good split step here. You have a lot more time on this volley. And if you did, you'd make that right at this target. Vincent, I like what you're trying to do here, but you're pinching the middle at the wrong time. So like we talked about on the changeover, Barrett's going to pull people wide a lot. So you can't pinch the middle when that happens. You got to just stay true in the middle of the box, dare them to go down the line, and that way you can kind of split and respond based on whatever they do once he's got somebody in the alley or beyond. Because of where the receiver's partner is standing, Barrett, I would serve and volley on this and exploit that. But you guys win the point anyway because you make up for it for a couple of really nice forehands. Vincent, I'd like to see you poach on this and take this volley because you're honoring the down the line. You don't want to honor too much with the down the line stuff, especially on the returns, until they burn you a couple of times early in sets. Here, Barrett, as the receiver's partner, if you're going to be back with him, you need to start on or just inside the baseline for his return. That way you can cover a short volley just in case it happens. A lot of good stuff from both you guys on this next point. Barrett, on this little slice forehand, I'd hit a short angle there just so the net guy doesn't have any chance at all of crossing, but well done, both of you. This next point, I don't understand what you guys are trying to do here. Vincent hits a good lob return. If you guys are going to go in, it should be right after the return, not after a ball that they rifle, deep cross court. I mean, look where you guys are at the moment Vincent has to hit this ball. Both of you should stay back after this forehand and go to work on him. This is where you got to play to your strengths, Barrett. I don't know why you're hitting a backhand here. I mean, look where this serve lands. That could easily be a forehand. So Barrett, when you return serve, you want to aim for a short angle towards the single sideline, right on the service line tee, on almost every return, unless you're going to lob or go middle on purpose with pace or at the guy or down the line or something. If you're going to go cross-court return deep, that's going to get picked off a lot of the time. Going here helps you avoid the net guy, and it doesn't matter if the server serves and volleys or not. So here we got the returner's partner again standing in no man's land, which is a positioning error. So Barrett, your volley going deep right at him works, but I'm not sure that's what you're going for. So if I'm Vincent's partner at the net right now, I am trying to go deep, but more in the middle, unless I can pull off a short angle. Vincent, this is a good choice. It just didn't work out. You hit it well. It's the right thing to do. And you got to go down the line on guys that are trying to poach all the time, especially when you have more time on some shots. These next two are pretty much how we want all serving points to go, where you pop a couple of good first serves in, and they either don't come back or you got a net player cleaning it up. On this next point, Barrett, this is what happens when you don't have automated volley targets. So after a guy hits a forehand return and you can volley it, you should go out down the middle every time, all the time, unless it's easy and you can angle it off for a winner. This just looks indecisive, and that's probably why you missed it. Vincent, this second serve that you're about to hit is kind of what I was alluding to when we were working on your serve. You have to change your mentality when you're a lot more capable than you were before. Being more aggressive on your serve than you were last year is going to have to be a mindset. For right now, Vincent, you're doing the right thing this point, and you just got beat. The other guy, the returner, played a really good point. But on this first volley that you get, that's a neutral or defensive volley for anyone on our team now and anyone on any team that we will play this year. But for you, in a couple months, a couple weeks, or even a couple days, this volley will turn into something very easy. And when that happens, I want you to start taking them down the line. Because if you can make it easily, it's a safer play. Because even if they get it back, the net player's trying to half volley a reflex back. Whereas, worst case, if you go cross court, the guy's got to look at a pass with a full swing. And that's exactly what happens here, even though both volleys you hit were pretty good. On a separate note, the guy with the white backwards hat, he was, making fun of Barrett's backhand volley at one point, shouting, "That's D1 tennis, baby." And he's the one that's getting super excited and pumped up and freaking out after every point he wins. That is not the behavior of someone that's confident. That is the behavior of someone that's insecure, that is not sure that they can be successful against you guys. And knowing that and recognizing that can always be a confidence boost. So remember that moving forward. 99% of the time, the cockier that someone acts, the more insecure they are about whether or not they can beat you. So at this point, Barrett, you got to be covering the middle when Vincent hits his return, so that second one should be yours. And Vincent, by going to the baseliner here with his backhand, you kind of gave him a chance to beat you. I'd go middle or right at the net player again, because that's the worst possible situation for them. Barrett, Vincent almost bails you out and keeps you guys in the point, but this is why you got to get those returns over here cross court and that short angle target. But look, this is just one game, so it's not a big deal, but you guys are way too good to be returning like this against this guy's 80-mile-an-hour slice serves that aren't placed well. So you shouldn't be letting this guy hold serve ever. So Vincent, this is your ball here, and Barrett, you really need to discover the lob in doubles. So Vincent, if you know he's serving down the tee here, you should be splitting directly forward from where you're starting, not over to your right. And if you do that, you've got this ball all day without a problem. And Barrett, anytime you cannot hit a good pass, you lob. If you do not make a serious effort to learn when to lob and the value of the lob in doubles, you will not be successful this year against top nationally ranked teams. So Barrett, by serving and volleying here, if you make this volley, you're putting your team out of position. I made a video for the team last year about this concept, and I want you to watch it right now. Taking a look here at a simple doubles concept that you want to avoid when you and your partner are at the net, and that you want to exploit when it happens on the other side of the net with your opponents. The staggered formation enhances court coverage and communication and cutting off the angles of passing shots, protecting the middle, and covering the lob. The reverse staggered formation essentially does the opposite, opening up clear passing shot lanes and lob opportunities for the other team. And catching opposing teams in this reverse staggered formation is a big benefit of playing two back when your team is returning. And when the returner's partner gets a chance to hit a ground stroke, the lob is wide open, and you can also rip the net guy's face off. So you can still serve and volley when you call a poach and switch, but you'd have to close in tight, Barrett, after this volley, and Vincent, you'd have to back up a little bit for you guys to fully cover the court and not leave a major hole wide open for the lob over your head, Vincent. Barrett, this next point illustrates what I've been trying to tell you since the moment I first saw you on campus. You got to hit more goddamn forehands. You're kicking everybody's ass every time you hit a bunch of forehands in a row. And here you are doing it again. Vincent, don't worry about this. This is exactly what we want. You take a good serve from Barrett and you take it over at net. You just got to give yourself a little more margin, man, when some of these touch volleys. So Barrett, here you are kicking this guy's ass again after you hit a few forehands in a row. This time you just happen to miss one short ball in an attacking position. But you clearly owned him in the rally, and that's a point. You're going to win 9 out of 10 times. Barrett, this next return has no chance, but you have a good chance if you lob it. But look at it this way. If you can't hit a good short angle return like we talked about earlier, or you can't attack the net player in some significant way, you should lob. Barrett, you played a good point here. I'm not sure why you're coming in behind that return, but nice little pickup, and it worked. Vincent hits a nice return, and now you guys are in position to break. But here we are again, Barrett. We're going through the same thing. I don't understand why you're trying to come in behind this serve when you could be hitting a short angle return and then hitting a bunch of inside-out forehands from the baseline instead, kicking these guys' asses. And if this point doesn't illustrate the value of the chip lob return, I don't know what will, buddy. This was really well done. Vincent, you really kicked their ass with your serve this game. It's a testament to the work you've put in. Good job. Barrett, you had some good hands here at the end of this point to close out the hold. Well done. Vincent, here's another missed backhand return that honestly I think looks like you hit pretty clean. And I think if you place an emphasis on consistency and placement with your backhand return in practice, that's exactly what you're going to start getting. Barrett, here's another forehand where you're absolutely kicking their ass. Vincent, you played a great point here, buddy. Barrett, you just got to keep your composure on this backhand volley. Got a little overexcited and tried to do a lot with it. Just stay calm and hit your target. So Barrett, this is another point where your backhand return costs you guys, and you got to take that short angle, but sometimes you got to go down the line on the guy just to keep the net player honest. And here we got, right afterwards, Mr. D1 Tennis Baby acting like a complete jackass. And here he is again celebrating after he hit a 75-mile-an-hour slice serve in the middle of the box. And Vincent misses an easy return that he'd normally make. So Barrett, this is another situation where you got to use the lob. You're worried about the net guy poaching. If you go cross court here, that's understandable. But this is the most low percentage way to deal with it because it's the most difficult for you to execute. If I were you here, I'd shape a high topspin cross court to avoid the net guy and stay in the point. And this next point, here's another one that you should also lob for the same reason, which is to avoid the net player. Vincent, this one, your split step seems to be all right. One thing I would do if I were you, at least a little bit, is on some of these fast high ones, just aim for the service line. Here, Barrett, you throw in a couple of Nice first serves. Good to see you being aggressive. Well done. Barrett, I like this forehand passing shot. A little bit of bad luck that, clips the tape here, but kind of works out the same way that it would have anyway. Here's another backhand return, Barrett, that needs to go short angle. It looks like you're trying to go deep there and you hit exactly what you wanted, but when you go deep and it's not all the way into the alley, it's a poachable ball. Vincent, this is a big time return here and you're doing the right thing coming in. Instead of trying to stick that volley at the guy, I would go middle tee or the single sideline tee just to make it easy on yourself. So Barrett, when you're working on this backhand return in practice, there's a technical aspect that I want you to work on. You just got to clean up the loading on these returns, which means you got to put all your weight on your left leg. Here you got, kind of equal weight on both feet.
But look,
and you
this
got to
is a
turn
good
your
team you
shoulders
just
more than
played,
your hips, where you're pointing that right shoulder at the incoming ball.
A lot of reasons why you guys should very easily believe that you could have won this match. And that should give you confidence moving forward.